All right, Gordon's garage is back up, and I've got to do a few things today to go to cruise night. I'm going to see a bunch of hot rods, hopefully, a bunch of hot rods at a group meet in Amarillo. It's at the Region 16 parking lot, which is a building on the corner of Bell and Hillside. All right, so I drove this sucker on a road trip, and I need to clean up some stuff. But first thing I want to do is pull the plugs. I need to see how black they are. I know some of them are fouled out. It's not running right. So pull the plugs. I got new plugs. I'm going to put those in. And when I pull the plugs, I'm going to look for what's wrong with them. They're probably really black sooty. That means I got to lean the jets out. I've got more jets. I can lean it out more. That means I'm going to spill more gas when I open up that carburetor. It's just the nature of the beast. Going to do it anyways. All right. So we're going to get that done. Then I'm going to pull this out in the driveway. I'm going to wipe it down real good because it's hideous. Then I'm going to run back into the house there, and I'm going to try as fast as I can make up a decal to go in the back window. Whenever I was going down the road, I showed through the back window. From the outside it looks pretty cool, pretty clean, but from the inside the window has an old sticker of some type. It looks like a rectangle of sticky glue from tape. I need to get that cleaned off. That's low priority. Get the decal on the back. I want to advertise the Gordon Garage logo on the back of the car so people walk around the car will recognize, hey, that's Gordon's Garage stuff. Maybe I'll put it on top of the air cleaner. It's just a vinyl decal. It can be pulled off. It's not permanent. It's not like I'm painting it. Maybe across the top of the windshield. That'd be cool. I'll have to figure something out, but I got to get busy. I got to get doing it. So let me get the tools out and start pulling the spark plugs out of that engine. Let's see what they look like. I know the painting on this car is not that great, but I cover this up anyways. Why make it worse? Give me some black gloves on here. I have a cut on my fingers, and I keep a Band-Aid on it to keep it all covered up, but Band-Aid gets really gross with all the grease and oil and stuff. These gloves do really good. They keep tight to my fingers so I can actually pinch things. All right, let's start pulling these out of here. See if I can. This is cylinder number 1. I'll pull this out and I'm going to show you. See how bad this one is. All right, rough it loose. It doesn't want to come out. There it is. Okay. I don't know if the camera can focus on that, but it is pretty black and sooty. Yeah, so whenever I took it out before the road trip, I cleaned them all off with a wire brush, and it was kind of dark in color anyways, but that's not really that bad considering we know it's already sooted over because I know I'm way too rich. But I was on a road trip with the throttle wide open, and that allows more air, and so it was able to breathe a little better. So that did help. So a little leaner would be great for road trips, but I'm doing a lot around the town stuff, so there's a lot of idle and throttling in, and I think I need to go leaner than that. So yeah, I'm going to go way leaner jets. So I'm going to get new plugs out. Let's get those switched out. I'm going to do all 8 of these. Okay, so I got the plugs out, and I'm a bit all over the place, and I talk a lot about how this stuff works and everything. I don't know any of this stuff. I usually call someone. I have 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 6 people that I have in my call list that I can call at any time, and they can give me some answers or give me a direction to go. And that's what exactly happened just now. So I got my plugs out here. I'm going to show you the plugs, and I'm going to show you these jets that I have laying here on the bench, and explain to those of y'all what I'm seeing here. So let's turn that around. Okay, so what we have here is these are kind of laid out the direction that the engine's sitting, and this is just a new plug sitting here. I have some jets over here, and these are set up in order of size. These are the original ones I had in there. They are 72s, and I put some 68s in, and that's what I ran the trip on. And so that's what these are running. And I wire brushed this one off. I wasn't thinking, but it was kind of black, and this one is real sooty black. It was probably fouled out. So I told you in the previous video that I was probably running on 6 cylinders. This is one of them that was running bad. This one's running great. That's a good looking plug. This is ideal. It's kind of a brown tannish. That's great. Then back on this other side, we're going from really black, kind of okay, really sooty. So this was the second cylinder that was fouled out. That's why I was running on 6, and this one is almost too lean. That means we're running lean, you can burn a hole in a piston. So I got 2 that are really rich. I think I want to go leaner in the jets, but if I go leaner in the jets, will I get too lean back here? So since I'm all over the place, that raises questions whether I have an intake manifold gasket that's not sealing all the way around. So I'm going to go through and kind of just hit all these bolts, make sure they're snugged down, and I definitely want to do my valve covers because I see oil coming out every once in a while, and I wonder if I've got a problem with I didn't get them tight enough, or maybe after a road trip the gaskets have relaxed a bit or shrank a bit and I need to tighten them down. Anyways, that's what I pulled out. This is a brand new one, and if you'll look, I know it's upside down, the 41 is what I've been told is the temperature range. These are 43. 43 is what the book calls for, the Haynes manual. Sorry about that, but this is the Haynes manual, and it says put in the 43s. So I'm running the stock plugs for that, even for the 454 that took the Holley carburetor. So that's where I'm at. I've got the Holley carburetor, I've got the 43s. I just went down a set of jets, and the recommendation I've been given by my expert operators that I call. Anyways, they tell me just run with what I got right here. Tighten up some bolts. So that's what I'm gonna do. Tighten up some bolts. Let's see how this goes. And I don't know. I'm gonna check the time, see if I have time to try to bust open the center console to do any adjustments on my shifter, because I'm having problems getting into park. I'm not having problems getting into park. I absolutely cannot get into park. That's the problem. Okay, so I gotta clean this up and check the time. We'll see if we can get out to cruise night with the ability to go into park. If not, I'll just be out there with it in reverse and shut off with the parking brake on. Especially, I'm gonna pull a can of spray here. This is Pro Honda, and this stuff, I really like it. It really makes me feel like there's actually something going on in this car just because of the smell. It smells like, I don't know, maybe pina colada or something, but it smells great. And whenever I wipe down my sport bikes, it was always a really good thing. I love this spray. So I put it on the cars too. I mean, it's fiberglass, sport bikes, got plastic fairing. Hey, probably the same thing. Anyways, I'm gonna wipe this thing down and let me get it ready for car show tonight. Just about done with all I'm gonna do to it. So, oh, there's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make some decals. Let me get some advertising for Gordon's Garage on the car, so I get out there, people know, look that channel up. Alrighty guys, getting closer. Let's get this thing clean. Hey everybody, so that video might have went a little too fast for you to catch on how to install a decal onto glass, but I did have I do have a vinyl plotter or cutter, and anyways, I'm just going to clean the windshield right quick. Set this to the side, and let me get the rag. Basically, you don't want any dirt on the glass whenever you set this. And I got bug splatter from the road trip on there still, so I want to get all that off. When you have large vinyl decals, what this dirt does is give little bubble or bubbles in your wrap, in your vinyl. But as thin as the letters are and stuff, it's not going to show up too much. The only thing that's really big is this skull. But yeah, so I want the adhesive on the back of the vinyl to stick to the glass, not any wax or anything that you have on whatever surface you're putting this. So I've got kind of a center point here with the dividing that. What I'm going to do is take a tape measure, and I'm going to measure how wide this thing is. And 22, so at 11 inches is right here on the end. So I can either reference the end when I put this on, or I can take a piece of tape and place it here. And I know that's center, but since I know the end is center, I'll put that right about in the middle. I'll tell you what I really want to do. It kind of looks off to me. The camera's not catching a good angle of the whole windshield. I'm measuring this and that. So I think I want to center the YouTube word and just let that hang off over on the side. What I'm going to actually do is cut this to two separate pieces, since the windshield is actually a bit of an arc down then back up. I'm going to move this kind of up and over once it's done. So yeah, let's get the scissors on that. Just like this. And this does two things. Makes it to where I can work with the windshield a little bit better, and it shortens this thing up so it's not such a big piece to be working with. Now, since I want it right up against the windshield, I think I need to cut off about 1 inch right here. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This just takes a second to run down through here, and I'm trying to be kind of straight because this is also going to be kind of a reference how far down off the windshield, so I don't accidentally get this thing crooked on top of my windshield. A little bit off, people will notice and point out. So when I look at this, the glare is a little bit funny with these lights. I can pick this up. When I look at this, I'm looking at how well the top of the letters are with the bottom of the windshield, and I have to ignore that white line. So yeah, I gotta just make sure I get it on there straight. Now, I've cleaned the windshield. I look at it. It tends to have a static cling, so little dust and stuff will cling right back to it. You just want to watch for that. Now, the way this is made up, like most decals, there's two types of decals, really. There's this type that's just cut out, and there's type that's just a piece of plastic that has an image printed on it. And you literally just peel a square piece of plastic with what you want written on it onto a surface. But on this case, each of these letters are separate pieces. The Y, the O, U. So if I misplace them, I've screwed this up and this is all trash. So therefore it has a film of transfer tape holding this all in place for me. So I'm going to flip it upside down to where the paper is facing up. I'm going to peel the paper off, being very careful. When I peel this back, if any of that red decal is left on this paper, I have to push it back and put it back onto the transfer tape. The transfer tape is the clear tape that you see there. All right, now there's adhesive on the back of this transfer tape that's helping me hold this in place. All right, I successfully got the paper backing off. Now I'm gonna flip it over. Now once it sticks, it's done. There's no undoing it. So I'm gonna hold it taut, like taut this way, and I'm gonna adjust which direction I want it. And I'm just gonna lay it on here to where it's just about, do I like that? Let's see. You know what, that's as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna let the center fall first and touch, and once it's touched, it's done. You can't undo it. But you don't want this end touching and have a gap. So I'm gonna roll back and let it roll onto, I'm gonna let it roll onto the surface. When you have large pieces of vinyl, square inches, like in the top of the skull, if it's really large, you really wanna roll it out the whole way. Any bigger than this, I would usually do like window tinners do and spray soap water down. Lay this on top of the soap water. You can float it around till you get it adjusted right, and then you'll be done with it. And then you would squeegee out the water that's underneath. And when the water gets squeegeed out, the adhesive adheres to the glass and it stays permanently. You might have to wait. It's a longer process because you'll have to wait for that water to dry out for it to stay real good. Because this next step I have to do right here is remove the transfer tape. I'm just making sure all of the red decal has adhered to the glass. That's what I'm rubbing. Focus on that. I don't want to focus on this area here. I don't want to focus on an area like this here because there's no use. I'm just focused on the adhesive behind the red vinyl. The clear vinyl, which is the transfer tape, is coming right off. All right, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'll set this phone down, the camera down, just as soon as something happens. And what I'm focusing on is when I peel, that the red vinyl decal stays on the glass and it's not coming with the clear transfer tape. And it looks like it's doing great. I'm gonna have to re-grab. And just like that. Now, if I was really particular, I know this is kind of a temporary thing. I just want to get my name out there. I'll probably end up taking a razor blade and just scraping all that off here in about a week or two, maybe a month, who knows. But the point is, I get my name out there. But if I was going to be real particular, I would have actually took this image in the computer and I would have had it arced a little to fit the arch of the top of the windshield. That's one of those things you just trial and error, but that's what I'll do. So next, I'm just going to put this little skull on down here at the end like it was, and it'll be on there. The back window's already been installed. You'll want to take a look at that. I know that was a time-lapse camera thing. It went really fast. Can y'all see that? Kind of cool. Alrighty, gonna be out at cruise night. Y'all see them, y'all can say hi. Okay, it is time to go. Got to start her up, back her out, and take ourselves to cruise night. I'm sitting in the garage. All I can do is go. It is actually 5 o'clock. A little bit late. Should be a little earlier, but that's okay. So let's go. Okay, everybody, I'm out here. I'm at cruise night. As you can tell, parking lot is really full. Anyways, I'm gonna take a bunch of still pictures, and I hope you enjoy the slide show. I got the Vader Vinyl Vet here. I'm sorry, Gordon's Garage YouTube channel vet here, and we're gonna go check out some cars. All right, I hope I haven't lost a lot of your viewers. I had a large slideshow. Yeah, there's a lot of cars up there. I think if I counted at all, there was more than 50 pictures of different vehicles. That meet kind of gets pretty big in the summertime. People get their cars out when the weather gets nice. So I got out there, I started taking pictures of stuff, and I had to start being selective about what I took pictures of because my battery was going dead on my phone. I even brought the battery bank with me. It ate that battery up too. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed that show. If y'all like any of those cars, write in the comments which one's your favorite and why. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to know what you're hungry to see more of. With that said, the performance of the car, it's not a very far trip. Going over to Region 16 and back, that wasn't hard. But with that said, I have some engine problems starting to arise, and it's a pretty loud little popping noise I can hear, tapping, clicking, knocking, or whatever it is. And the best I can figure, it's an exhaust leak. And the reason I figured that is because I use my tool. This is my favorite tool because it makes me feel like a doctor. Anyways, what this thing does is like what a doctor would do to listen to your heart. You put these on your ears and you take this metal rod and you set it at different points on the engine, and you can listen to the rocker arms up top and see if they're chattering extra loud. Which one's the loudest? You just go down through there, touching the engine block, and if you want to check out the crankshaft, you just reach it down in there lower while the engine's running, and you can hear all the noises the machine's making on the inside. This is a fancy little tool. You don't have to have this. You can get any piece of metal. Really long screwdrivers are great because the blunt handle is great. But yeah, what you do is you take that long screwdriver, stick it on the engine, and then cup your hand on the handle and place that screwdriver up against your ear, and you'll be able to hear just as well than with these. But anyways, I think I have an exhaust leak on the passenger side because all the internal engine noises sound pretty good. So that's not too hard of a thing to fix. I'll just have to search it down where exactly it's at and fix it. With that said, I know I still have a bunch of stuff to do. Number one on my list is going to be that shifter. I've got to get park back because you can't run the engine when you're out of the car without it in park. You get out of the car and it's in gear, it's taking off, right? So yeah, it didn't realize just how valuable being able to put your car in park really is when you want to work on the engine. With that said, yeah, hit that subscribe button, the notifications bell, whatever you got to do so you can see the next episode. And I really appreciate all y'all's support, and hopefully I can bring y'all some more exciting stuff. Until then, y'all have a good weekend.